All right, everyone, welcome back to another Coyote Radio Show and podcast. Great guest today. Liam St. John's with us, and I'm a fan. The guy knows how to write a song. He's a very honest approach in his lyrics. He's got the whole blues vibe going on, and I've had him on my speakers here in rotation very heavy the past few months. So if you don't know who he is, check him out. He's on all the social media platforms. You can listen to him on Spotify and all that good stuff. So check him out. Before we talk to him, though, I do want to say thanks to everyone. The show's growing. We're on all the streaming platforms, like I said. We're on Facebook, Instagram. If you could follow us, that'd be great. YouTube, of course, hit the subscribe button, notification button, and our website, Coyote Radio Show and Podcast.com. And we got merch, t-shirts, new koozies in stock, actually. Here's one. Got new koozies that look pretty cool. Zero tolerance for corn dick pop country. So get them while you can. And yeah, and if you can't help us out that way, there's always, you can make a small donation. There's a link below in the description, and a little bit goes a long way, like I said. So appreciate it, guys. Let's go talk to Liam and see what he's got to say. Liam St. John, thanks for joining me, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, I'm fairly new to your music. Probably 6 months now. I think I caught on, and I can't I can't turn it off, dude. I'm constantly playing your shit. It's awesome.
Thank you, man. I mean, that means everything. Every listener means a whole lot to me. So
Yeah. Well, if you could, can you kind of just give us the beginnings, like how you got into music, where you're from and all that good stuff, inspirations and all that?
yeah, man. Well, I'm from Spokane, Washington originally. I was born and raised there. Um, yeah, I mean, I got into the blues at a very young age. I grew up with my mother. She was a single mom and she grew up as a hippie. So she had really cool taste in music. So she was always spinning, artists like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Janis Joplin, and then like Van Morrison, Tracy Chapman. So I had this very eclectic palette of music at a very young age. But the voices that really strung a heavy chord with me were like Ray Charles and Etta James, like these very soulful, raw, vulnerable, and powerful voices. And yeah, I mean, I grew up very, very shy and like introverted, and the blues found me when I needed it because I was like just very, very introverted and kept things to myself, and that was the first thing that allowed me to like express those feelings. And so yeah, man, I've been singing the blues since I was a kid, mostly by myself in my room, and then I started doing it publicly when I was about 13. But my career kind of started about 10 years ago. I started really I really committed to my dream to be a full-time musician, and so I was doing just open mics and dive bars every single day for a very long time, just paying my dues and um, finding so much happiness and joy doing it. So I just kind of knew that's where I was supposed to be, was pursuing this career. So, if you can find meaning and purpose at the bottom of the food chain, it's probably on heading the right direction. So
Yeah. When did you pick up a guitar though? What age was that?
So I started. I was singing my whole life. I didn't pick up a guitar until I was 19. So like, yeah, like
Okay.
2009, and that's when I'm all self-taught, and that's when I started trying to write songs. I've written hundreds and thousands of very bad songs.
Man. Uh, and when you were doing the whole dive bar scene and every day, where was that? Was that still in Washington or?
It started out in Spokane, Washington, and then I moved down to Portland, Oregon, and that's
Okay.
where I cut my teeth. And played literally every night, which I'm really grateful for. I mean, just met a lot of really cool musicians out there, and um, just learned how to just go and be a musician. I just learned how to continue.
Yeah, just throw yourself in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
The See, I haven't been out that far west to really explore like the music scene or anything. Is it pretty decent community out there, or like as far as a lot of options? I mean, I don't know. Like when I think of blues, you're not thinking out there, but
Yeah, that's true. I mean, in Portland, there were just it's just a whole community of artists, it seems. And so, I mean, most of the time I was playing, especially in the beginning, it was just like my musician friends coming and watching me. But yeah, I mean, there is an older blues crowd in the West. Like, there's the Waterfront Blues Festival in Portland, and that whole organization, like the Pacific Northwest Blues Association, is out there. And so there's blues clubs every night that you can go to and hop
oh,
in.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. So where are you heading now? You said you're about to move.
Yeah, I'm actually making the jump to Music City, headed to Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's good for me because that means you're closer and I can go see you live.
Yeah.
uh, Speaking of playing live, you got some shows you want to mention? I see you're getting ready to hit the road for a little bit out west.
Yeah. Yeah, we're actually I'm touring with Evan Honer and Joshua Quimby, some of my good buddies, and then just touring my strip back album. So it's me and my guitar, and then I bring in my drummer. He's gonna play cajon. But we're doing like a few dates in Texas, and then the South. So like Louisiana, Arkansas, Georgia, Mississippi, and Alabama.
Yeah, that'll be a
Yeah,
blast, I'm sure.
yeah, I'm stoked, man. I haven't played many of those states, so I'm stoked to finally reach some of those cities.
Yeah. Um, what part of Louisiana? New Orleans?
Yeah, we're hitting
Oh
New Orleans.
man, I love it down there.
Yeah, I've been once. I did like a long ago. I did a DIY tour, um, and got to play in that city. But it'll be different now because I have people that listen to my music now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Um, that's You mentioned Joshua. That's how I found your music through the song you guys did together,
Oh,
News.
really?
And I've been a fan of his for a little while.
Yeah,
And
that's shred.
his voice is wicked.
Yeah, man. One of my favorite voices.
Yeah.
He's yeah, a lot of respect for him as a you know writer, player, and singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see him let's see, would be a couple months from now. He's playing at the Muddy Roots Festival.
Oh
He's
yeah.
on that lineup. So I'll be down there in Tennessee. So
That's
I'm here. I'm in central Indiana.
okay.
So it's like 4.5 hours or so to Nashville.
Word. I played in Duggar, Indiana last year.
Duggar?
Yeah.
Never even heard of it.
It was at some like ATV park. They were on a festival.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think I'm coming to Indiana in August. Let me find the schedule.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the coming to Indianapolis on the August 18th.
August 18th. To what do you know what venue?
Not yet. Those dates are like about to be announced, and then I'll know where we're going.
Hopefully it's at Duke's Indy. That's our like home spot here for like honky tonk and blues and little
All
mix
right.
of everything. It's awesome venue for this part of the country. You feel like you're in a southern honky tonk.
Right
Don't got
on.
many of those around here, so
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. Your music just kind of most of
podcast is based around country music. But I love
Mhm.
all types of music. I grew up on metal and hardcore music. I was in some punk rock bands, and somehow at one point I transitioned to like bluegrass because of the maybe it's the speed and the timing from metal
Yeah,
to that, and then just kept going down the rabbit hole. Now I'm just like a folky. I love old folk music, you know, and blues. There's so many great blues artists out there.
yeah, man.
You talked about being a introvert. I don't see how that could even be if you even even attempted to pull off an Etta James song, dude.
Yeah, I feel like when I sing is like when my full truest self comes out, and especially on stage, and I'm like a different person. As a kid, I feel like I was just very shy, and
Yeah.
growing up with just a single mom who's working all the time. I just didn't have anyone to really talk to. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely let it out all out vocally and physically, even on stage. Is I tear down all my walls, and it's the best feeling on earth. And I just hope everybody gets a chance to like feel what being fully present is like I do every night on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, man. Like I've been messing around with music for a long time. And even as a kid, when I was going to like these punk rock shows, that's really what it was about, just letting loose and kind of being yourself and enjoying the moment and the music and the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True, man. It's why we're all I always like to remind myself before I play a show because it's easy to just think I'm there to perform a service for people, but it's really like a we're all there together to give something to each other, like just to like experience the present moment. And like I'm tearing down my walls and giving myself to people, but they're doing the same thing back. They're like screaming their guts out, like 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 nobody's watching, which is cliche to say, but like that's a really powerful thing to experience with somebody, is to like see just be in a room full of strangers all feeling like themselves for an hour.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a few of these songs that I mean, honestly, the strip back, all the bad things. Um, I really don't have, there's usually records that you get from people or something. There's always a couple that you just hit the skip button.
Yeah.
Like I don't do that with yours. So I
Wow,
like
man.
them all in their own way. Um,
Well, thank you, man. I'm deeply honored.
the but the subject matter too could be anything from, you know, drug use, religion, hard times, um, all kinds of different stuff that you would consider, downer blues stuff, but somehow people, I don't know, we all just kind of rally around it because we've all probably been there at some point and we can just understand it.
Yeah,
It's
man.
something to relate to.
Hmm.
I just felt like I could relate to some of your shit. Maybe that's part of the reason why I dove in so hard. But
Yeah, I think that is the most important thing to me as an artist. I think it's like our duty, and not always to be like so uh it's just our duty to show up as and just be honest and vulnerable, even if it's like my song "Don't Waste Your Weeps," which is a murder ballad.
mhm.
But it's as I was writing it, I was like, wow, this feels like I am processing something. And it was like I'm processing loss in my life because I like had to sacrifice a lot to become the person I am now. And so in a way it was like incredibly intimate to my story, even though it's about like this man murderer on the run. But yeah, man, I think that's this the strip back album really changed my life in a lot of ways, not to mention all the people I've discovered. Like I found my people through this album, but what it showed me was like how powerful being vulnerable is, both lyrically and vocally. So I wrote Dipped in Bleach, and I did grow up in the church and have like a lot of religious trauma, which led to like my drug abuse and alcohol abuse, and like I had all this stuff that I just been suppressing and never really talked about. And then I wrote Dipped in Bleach, because I felt like I was like this, I was about to explode, and I just needed to say all this shit. And then I posted on TikTok, and it you know, that video was my first ever like viral video, which was so kind of foreign to me. It's like this thing that is so intimate to my life experience, is finding all these people that relate to it in their own way. And that's kind of the experience I had with each one of those songs. Is I have this note on my wall. It says just be honest, because I sit down at this desk to write. And then so all those songs were just like um honesty over everything, even if it like exposed me for like
Yeah.
bullshit. And so yeah, man, I've met all my I feel like I found my people through these songs. And I've when Dipped in Bleach did well on TikTok, I felt like I needed to present it the same way. So I recorded it live, literally in my kitchen, and in one take, with no like edits, no vocal, like, you know, there was a little too much verb on Dipped in Bleach, I think.
You'll probably be critiquing yourself forever now.
Listening back. But yeah, I just really value the vulnerability and honesty, both lyrically and sonically. And I think I got that from like listening to people like Ray Charles, who you can hear the cracks in their voice in their recordings, you know? So
Yeah. Yeah. I heard I could tell it was live on some parts. And I love that about that stripped back idea, because everything is so polished these days with the studios. I don't know. It all becomes like plastic and fake. You know, I just can't.
yeah,
But it's not the same.
yeah,
But I get it at the same time. You know, they're trying to do some radio quality. I get it.
yeah,
I just told you I listen to like old folk music. I'm listening to like scratchy shit from the 1940s and 30s. You know?
yeah. That's the real shit, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything. I guess, I guess, like my values, I would never want to go so polished in recording, because I feel like the art is in like the humanity of it all, you know. But I understand, like you said, I understand why people polish their songs up. But
yeah.
it's sad when I hear people that I know are like elite singers using auto tune on their on the records. I'm like, dude,
You don't need that.
yeah.
Yeah, I get it. So, what made you want to do the Bonnie and Clyde story?
Man, I've been fascinated with them for a while. And I was I watched that movie on Netflix, Highwaymen, with Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, yeah,
And that was very intriguing, just like hearing you know, how they talked back in the 30s. And then once I like am intrigued by something, I usually go research it. And so I was reading about Clyde, and just like getting a lot of information about his story, and real. And then once I heard he was transferred to a prison called East Ham Prison Farm, I was like, that's got to be a song somewhere. I was like, who wrote? And then there's nothing out there, and I was like, okay, this is my song. I'm gonna write this. And I was so excited to write East Ham Prison Farm Blues. I literally, some songs are like very strenuous, and exhausting, but this one I just had a blast, and I could barely wait to show people. But I learned a lot about them, and brought like they're pretty evil people, but
Yeah.
in
He
America,
really
like,
cut his toes off?
yeah, he did
Damn.
to like avoid manual labor, and then his mom had already convinced the judge to give him parole, so he did it in like for no reason, basically.
Damn.
But yeah, he was like tortured in that prison, like assaulted, and um
Yeah.
it was a catalyst for his rage in the next 4 years until he was killed.
Yeah. There's no reform in that system there at that time. Jeez. Oh man. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
only imagine.
I I've always seen I've always felt like our type of like alt country uh is metal. Like I feel like there's similar, because you said you were used, you come from a metal background. Like I feel
Right.
like similar, not even like tempos, but just like uh energy, as in like
Yeah, it's like a wave, you got the highs and lows with them, like on a
yeah,
breakdown on a song. Yeah, you definitely get that in the blues too.
yeah. And there's something metal about like being Billy Strings.
Yeah.
There's something metal about Joshua Quimby, even though he's just picking on a resonator.
Yeah. Doing a Johnny B. Good cover.
Yeah,
I love it, man. I think people just I don't know. I just wish it was given more of a chance. Everything's available online and everything, but at the same time it's like so clogged. Everyone's doing it. So it's
yeah,
still hard to be kind of seen at the same time. Unless
yeah,
go viral or something like kind of like what you were talking about with TikTok.
yeah.
That helps a little. Did you see any kind of boost in your plays after that, or notice like it was a big swing?
Yeah, I think that the difference between like TikTok and then the rest of the apps is when a song goes viral, it's like it's finding people that are in your genre. It's like finding fans versus like a viral YouTube video is just getting views.
Just
Like
okay.
on TikTok, it's like scarily filtered into like funneling into people
It's
who
they're
like,
putting it in front of people that actually listen to that sort of thing.
exactly, which is incredibly powerful in this day and age. That's exactly what labels spend millions of dollars on, is trying to find those people.
Huh. See, I don't have TikTok, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, man.
I probably should do the right thing since I'm doing this podcast thing and be on every social media outlet, but man, I got
Yeah,
enough shit going on. I don't know.
you just hire somebody to make a video a week. It's nice. I've learned about a lot of podcasts on that app because they get little sound bites, that are,
Oh yeah, yeah. I
and
need to
they,
start doing that.
yeah.
I'm lazy. This is let's see here. I think this is episode 89.
Oh, hell
Well, I'm
yeah.
climbing. I'm getting there. We'll hit
Yeah.
100 soon. But yeah,
Yeah.
I just started this during COVID, nothing else to do. Uh,
Wow.
I was friends with Sierra Farrell, and she was my first guest. So she kind of helped kickstart it. Like, oh, you had Sierra on, we'll be on your show. You know, Otherwise, it's just like, who's this dude? So it helped. Um, but yeah, things are going well. I'm going to keep it going.
Hell yeah, man. It's persistence. It's pretty deadly.
Yeah. So what else other than touring? Like, what's your plans for the future? Obviously probably still always writing. Like, what's your writing process like?
Well, I'm going to show you guys what my desk looks like. Uh, all those scribbles are when I get anxious or something. or can't think of anything to write. But yeah, I write every day, man. I love writing by myself. It's like so just
Therapeutic.
therapeutic,
Yeah.
but also just like I need it, you know. And then yeah, I'm signed to a publisher, and so I write a lot in sessions, and then I just signed to a record label, which isn't public yet, so I won't say the name, but I'm really excited about what's to come. Basically, a couple more, a few records to be released in the next couple years. So,
Yeah.
and then
Well,
more
yeah, that's definitely
tour.
exciting.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited. But, that's what's bringing me to Nashville. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Right on. How long have you been in LA?
I've been here since the pandemic. Random time to move here, but I was in Portland and I was married, and then I was then divorced and didn't really. I was like, there's just nothing there for me now, especially because of the pandemic. Couldn't like play live music, and so I got the opportunity to be on The Voice,
Oh yeah.
and I came down here to film for that. 3 years from right now, I was quarantining in the hotel by Burbank Airport to film for The Voice, and
Did
then
how'd that go?
it was fun. I loved my time on The Voice, man. But I just watched my audition because I found it in my downloads. It always puts a smile on my face because it's such a dream to a lot of singers just like see those shows growing up, like
Yeah.
and I have to remind myself sometimes that I did it and like got to turn a couple chairs and have that experience. But yeah, that was probably the funnest I've ever had in my life. Like probably the happiest I've ever been was on that show, just because I felt like fully, freely myself and got to do this dream thing. And yeah, but I was on team Gwen Stefani, and
Team Quinn.
yeah,
That's funny.
and Blake Shelton also turned for me. So the headline was mom and dad fighting over Liam St. John because they're married. Yeah, it
That's
was.
great. See, I when it first came out, I remember watching, but I really don't keep up with the shows anymore. The American
Yeah,
Idol and Voice.
always filming. There's just always another season, which is
I like the beginning is normally I'm interested, and then after everyone's been selected and been through, that's when I kind of start losing interest.
yeah, yeah. I got knocked out in the battle rounds, so I just had 2 episodes, but it was
Yeah.
worth. Yeah,
Are are they on YouTube? If I dig them up?
there's pirated versions of it. Unfortunately, The Voice privates them after like 3 years or something. It's
Oh,
pretty bad. So,
what the
but
heck?
but yeah, I downloaded it. So if you can't find it, then I can send it to you.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. That's awesome, man. Well, I
Yeah,
won't keep you any longer. I was just thrilled that you agreed to be on. Like I said, I'm a fan now, and I'll be at your show when you come to Indy for sure.
right on, man. Well, I appreciate you reaching out and having me on. It's always fun to
Yeah.
talk shop.
Yeah, anytime. Any projects, whatever, we'll send it out.
Right on, man. I
So,
appreciate that.
all right, man. Well, we'll be in touch, and thanks again.
Right on, man. Have a good evening.
Do you got a website people should check out, or are you just on all the socials?
Yeah, my website is liamstjohn.com. You can find all my tour dates and news out there.
Okay. Links in the description.
Yeah.
All right, man. Later.